Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to share with you some recent stories. Some of them are related to the current situation in Ukraine and some others are different. So let's get into this. This one is the first one that I thought it was very interesting. It says Kharkov region aspiring to join Russia. So they say that the government and residents of liberated territories of the Kharkov regions are willing to join Russia, and the interim civil administration is encouraging those moves. The head of the Kharkov region's interim civil administration, Vitaly Ganchev, has told us. And they say this statistic that I really didn't hear before, and they say approximately 20% of the Kharkov's region's territory has already been liberated. And well, for those of you who don't know, Kharkov region, the Kharkov Oblast, is very much Russian-speaking territory. It was very sympathetic to the cause of Yanukovych, the former president that was overthrown in the coup in 2014. So somehow I was a little bit surprised that there was no independence movement there, but maybe, like I reported in other videos before, maybe the movement was crushed, so that's why we didn't hear about it. But now seeing the reaction of the people in the region confirms my impression when I was there in Ukraine, that people in Kharkov region are also pretty much pro-Russia. So let's get into this. Then they just mentioned this recent news about it's a special gun. It's called Stupor. It's an electromagnetic system and is used to jam or neutralize drones. If you have seen this channel in the past, I already mentioned something before where Ukraine also was having a similar system. So this is the system from Russia. It's called Stupor. They are calling it an anti-drone gun, and this article is from 2017. So they were mentioning that they had some testing going on for this. And this is the article for the equivalent of this gun from Ukraine. So there seems to be probably similar technology. I wouldn't be surprised about this. They're just mentioning some of the capabilities, but unlike Ukraine, I haven't heard that this is being used in Ukraine. Maybe it's being used, but they haven't reported it. I don't even know how is this. Yes, there are no reports about this. Absolutely, the gun itself doesn't have a very catchy name. Is KBSG3, so maybe they will come with a different name later. So I just wanted to point out that this is a current technology and is being used actively by Russia. So they are just reporting it, that they say is highly efficient and is useful. So technology is always important, but like I said before in previous videos, technology on its own won't win a battle or will not win a war. It needs to be used in the context of an organized army, and the Ukrainian army has lost already that category. Especially important the fact that they don't have very effective communication systems, because the Russians are jamming the communications, and whenever they want to communicate using some radios that are sent by the West, their particular frequencies are easily detected by let's say counter measurements, and they are picked out where is the location, and then they're attacked with artillery or with some other kind of weapon systems. So that is one more of the reasons why Ukraine has lost its combat readiness. Apart from that, the fact that they don't have enough trained soldiers and they are decreasing by the day. They are losing a lot of soldiers, so that is very catastrophic for the army itself. They are trying to recruit people, but these recruits have no training or very little training, so they are not effective in the battlefield. And later, this is a story that I already mentioned, the same topic before. Like, there are reports that weapons from the West are being sold, but this comes officially from a Ukrainian official. Sorry about the double assessment and double affirmation. So the name of this person is Vadim Melnik. So he's Economic Security Bureau Chief. And he mentioned that there are a number of cases in which Western humanitarian and military aid, so not only weapons, was being sold, and it has been confirmed in Ukraine. Even defense-related goods are being sold. We have established such facts. So there's going to be some reaction to this. We'll see what is the reaction from the mainstream media about this. It has been confirmed by other sources, but apparently it's the first time that Ukraine actually admits to this fact. So this is maybe significant. And this is an article from this website, the Libertarian Institute, and they say US Special Forces bets near front lines training Ukrainian soldiers. So they say American special operators who say they are providing training to Ukrainian troops near the battlefield and even planning missions against Russian soldiers. So they're trying to frame it as something innocuous, something innocent. They say retired American special operators. This is a synonym, and the synonym is mercenary. But they're trying to frame it as something completely innocent. They say retired American special operators. They're not special military operators. They are mercenaries. They don't want to admit to that. And the article says that these veterans, again, they try to say that they are veterans. They're not mercenaries. They use their own money, personal savings and crowdfunding to bankroll their paramilitary work in Ukraine. So now is how they call it, paramilitary work. That's how mercenaries do it. And then they mention again, other countries allow their citizens to travel to Ukraine to fight as volunteers. That's another synonym they are using. No, they are volunteers. They are not mercenaries. They are volunteers. And they also call them foreigners fighting for Kiev. No, they soon should run out of synonyms, but they don't want to say mercenaries. The only side that is calling them mercenaries is Russian and the Donetsk People's Republic, which have already captured some of them. They already had stand trial and have been sentenced to death, some of them. So that's what it is, but this is some kind of a confirmation of something that we know. The article is quite interesting, goes into mention some interesting facts. I just wanted to point out that this is a little bit ridiculous how they want to whitewash the whole story and make it less than what it is. And also, if you have paid attention to the channel, I already mentioned this story about GITMO, Guantanamo Bay, and how Democrats are trying to shut down Guantanamo Bay detention facility. They say they have done some legislation seeking to close the facility in Cuba, but apparently Republicans are not interested into this, and they say no rational person is going to support that. It's an absolutely vital institution. So it's just flabbergasting to see all the things they say. It's a very long article and it says a lot of information about the whole thing. So despite the fact that there's been accounts of torture and judicial violations, they still don't want to close it. You know, they are just worried about the implications, legal implications of closing it, because if they close it, they need to put the detainees somewhere. And if they bring them to the US, they will have some legal rights. And they're afraid of that. If you can believe it, you know, they're afraid of that. And then they say these stupid statements like these detainees are the worst of the worst and we need assurance that they will never be moved to the United States. There is no proof that they are the worst of the worst. They haven't even have their day in court. So how can they say they are the worst, you know? And then they mention all the different statistics of how many people have been detained, how old they are, how long have they been there, how many have been released. It's just heartbreaking, you know. Just recently, if you saw this channel, I went to mention one guy that was there 15 years without ever standing trial, and then they released him. Good for him that he was released, but it is just it's very sad and it's very unfair. It's an injustice for everyone. I'm sure that some of them maybe, I'm sorry, I cannot say I'm sure, you know, maybe some of them, they deserve to be trial and stand trial, but they should receive a proper trial, proper jury, and do everything according to the law. Instead of that, the United States chose to do this strange facility to get away with breaking international law, and they can afford to do it because they are the top dog in the international arena, so that's why they do it. Nobody can stand in their way and say they shouldn't do it. So that's at least something. I don't know if they will ever close it. I hope they would. But anyway, that's kind of some story that I thought it was important to bring to your attention. So that's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And as always, I ask you to please like this video, share it in social media, and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.